into one of the ships, which was Simon, and prayed him that he would thrust out a little from the land, sat down and taught the people out of the ship. When he had left speaking, he said unto Simon, launch out into the deep, let down your nets for a draught. Simon answered and said to him, Master, we toiled all night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net. And when he had done this, they enclosed a great multitude of fishes, and their nets brake. And he beckoned unto his partners, which was in the other ship, that they should come and help them. They came, filled both the ships, so that they began to sink. And Simon saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. For he was astonished, and all that was with him at the draught of the fish which was taken. And so was James and John, the son of Zebedee, which was partners with Simon. And Jesus said unto Simon, Fear not, from henceforth you shall catch men. And when they had brought their ships to land, they forsook all and followed him. Amen. You may be seated in the house of the Lord. Verse number 5 says, Simon answered him, Master, we've toiled all night and have taken nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net. Just for a few moments, I want to preach with this subject in your mind. What do you do when your nets come up empty? What do you do when your nets come up empty? This is a very interesting text. It's very exciting, even from the jump. What really makes this exciting, because it gives us a description of what was going on. Jesus was having church on the beach, and a multitude of people pressed in to hear the word of God. And then something very strange take place. The text says that although the people was crowded around to hear Jesus, and everybody was there to see him. Here's a really quick shout in the text. What really gets me excited because of this text, because Peter here is the recipient of this blessing. But Peter wasn't looking for God. I'm going to say that again because I think y'all missed it. Peter wasn't looking for God. But isn't that just like God? When you wasn't looking for him, he was always looking for you. And when you didn't have him on your radar, aren't you glad that even though you wasn't thinking about him, he was always thinking about you? In this text, it's interesting because most of the times we see people seeking out God. But in this text, and why it's so exciting, because it lets me know, although my mind wasn't on him, I'm so glad that he had his mind stayed on me. And if the truth be told, the only reason somebody is in here today, not because you had enough sense to come to him, but somebody had enough sense to pray for you even when you couldn't pray for yourself. Somebody was thinking about you and your best interest when you didn't have your best interest on your mind. And that's where this text takes place, is that Peter had been fishing all night long and he had caught absolutely nothing. Now, that might be all right if he was fishing just to be fishing. might be all right if he was fishing just for relaxation. But Peter did this for a living. So if he didn't catch nothing, he didn't eat nothing. If he didn't catch nothing, he didn't make nothing. Okay, let me put it somewhere that you can get it. It's like you working all week for 40 hours and Friday come and your paycheck says 0. What do you do when your nets come up empty? Another thing that I want to point out even before we go on is that it's one thing when you fail at something that you have no clue about. It's one thing if the wife asks me to go and build a shed in the backyard and I am not a carpenter and I'm not good with a hammer or nails. It's one thing for me to fail at that. But it's a whole different ball game when you know how to do something and still come up short. Yes. That's where Peter is in this text. He's a fisherman by trade. He knows how to fish. He knows where to fish. And he knows what to fish with. But yet, he still came up empty. Here's the first thing that I want you to understand when your nets come up empty. And I don't want y'all to miss this. It's very simple. But here's the first thing that I want you to understand when your nets come up empty. That failure is not final. All right. I'm going to say it again. Failure is not final. And oftentimes, we let failure or a hiccup or a misstep or things not showing up how we expect it to show, we take that as an indication for us to turn around and stop doing what God has promised us or God has showed us what to do. But I came to tell somebody at the Antioch church today that failure is not final. The only thing failure is there to do is to show you what not to do. I think I better say that again. Failure is not to deter you. Failure is not to turn you around. Failure, as a matter of fact, is not to discourage you. It's for you to grow as you go through. And the reason why some things keep recurring in our lives over and over and over again is because we ain't got the clue the first time. And the only reason it keeps coming up because God said, I'm not going to let you pass it. I'm not going to let you get through it until you pass the test and do what you're supposed to do in the first place, because failure is not an option. Amen. I thought somebody would have got happy right there. Because we serve a God and he's already given us the victory, so failure is not an option. And just because I failed, I'm not a failure. I just had a misstep because God has already ensured me that victory is mine. Amen. First thing I want y'all to see, that failure is not final. The text says in verse 2 that Jesus saw two ships in the midst of failing all night. And he decided, watch this here, to go up to somebody that had been failing all night. And in spite of that, I don't want you to miss this, Jesus says, you still have something I can use. I'm talking to somebody that's in here today, that I want you to understand that you still are valuable. You still is worth it. And you still have something to give in spite of your past, in spite of your failures. God said you still have something that I can use.